What's an awful experience that you've had driving?
Okay, awful experience that I've had driving. Okay, so there's two that stand out in my mind. The first time was when I had my car for about 2 weeks, and I was so excited to see one of my friends that I was whipping my car like I was John Wick in the Safeway parking lot. And I was trying to park, and I made a way too wide turn, and I dinged this old grandma's van, and it cost me $300, that
Oof.
small ding. So that was like the ultimate like ruin my day kind of moment. The other bad experience I had driving, this wasn't something that really happened to me, more of something that I did. Fortunately, this didn't cause an accident, but I just had a lapse in my mental judgment. And so basically I was turning out of a car wash, right? And the car wash is in like the middle of the street, and then at the right end of the street there's a stoplight, and the stoplight just turned green, and so there were a bunch of cars coming straight, and just in a like I was like, oh shit, I have to get on the road, or else I'm not, or else I'm going to be sitting here for like 5 minutes. So then I turn onto the road, but then like I don't hit the gas because I'm like, oh, whew, I got on the road. Like, that's a relief. And then keep in mind that like I'm going like 10 miles an hour and cars are coming like 50 miles an hour. And this guy like slams his brakes behind me. He's like, come on, man. I can see him like throwing up his hands in the background, because like that was definitely one of the stupidest things I did while driving. And all I had to do after that was that I knew how stupid it was. So I just put up my hand out. I just put up my hand so you could see it in the rearview mirror. I was like, sorry, I know, I know. Sorry, I know I said two, but there was actually three. The last time that I really had a close call with driving was that, for the viewers at home, I used to live in Colorado, and when it snows in the winter, there's a lot of ice on the roads. And I used to have a 30-minute commute to the place that I worked at. I literally get to the last left turn before the last left turn before my work. And it's at a four-way intersection, very busy four-way intersection. This is a weekday morning, so there's tons of people going to their commute. And I was coming in just a little bit too hot into the turning lane. And so I started skidding, and I stepped on the brakes like the hardest I've ever stepped on the brakes. I was literally like pulling on the steering wheel. I was trying to get as much leverage to step on the brakes as possible, because I thought for sure I was going to slide into the intersection. And I was like, if I slide into this intersection, like there's a chance that I might be okay, but I'm probably going to be screwed. And then just like in any good Michael Bay movie where a big object stops right before it's about to hit something, that's exactly what happened to me. I literally slid like right to the perfect part of, how like those intersections, how like those big white lines, I slid like right up to the big white line. Like I was just barely over it. So normally where I would be anyway. Yeah. So that was definitely the closest call. Those were definitely the closest calls that happened to me with driving. How about you?
Well, let's tell a story about today, shall we?
Okay.
So coming back from my school, so when I go to my school, I would get on like a certain road, and then I'd take another turn at some point. But going home, my phone wants me to not turn back onto that road. It wants me to keep going.
Yeah.
So basically, I drive on this road called Yosemite until it intersects with Colfax.
Okay.
And so it's a major intersection. It's two main roads intersecting into this. Mm-hmm. And then there's a neighborhood deep on one end, and then like the school and some restaurants the other end. So this intersection brings four major roads together. Mm-hmm. Well, the moron who made the intersection decided not to put in one of the lights that has the left turn arrow.
Okay.
So if you're in the left turn lane, especially during rush hour, at a major four-way intersection, and they don't give you an arrow to go, and there's a lot of cars going straight on, what are the odds that you actually get to turn while the light is green?
Very low.
Very low. So I'm at this intersection, and it was red, and I see like just cars lining up on the other side. And I'm like, well, shit, I'm not gonna be going. Light turns green. While the cars are going, Car pulls in behind me, a couple more cars behind her. But I'm like, oh, great. Now there's more cars stacked up. So now the pressure's even higher on me to go.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to accidentally get into an accident and make the stuff worse. So I'm like, I'm going to wait here. Cars keep going. Light turns yellow. Light turns red. I didn't get to go. I see the woman behind me throwing her hands up. She's all pissed off.
Yeah.
As if, I had a choice. And so then I'm like, okay, please this time, just please work. And I see there's about like 6 cars at the intersection. I can see in the back a light has just turned green, like a bit back there. And I was like, okay, if the light turns green in the next 5 seconds, there will be enough of a window for me to go between these cars.
Yeah.
I kept waiting. It didn't change. So that whole intersection back there, that they started coming up, they backed up. Light turns green again. All the cars are going, and I'm like, God damn it. I'm not going to get to go again.
Yeah.
Light turns yellow again. I still haven't gotten a chance to go. And I'm a very safe driver. Like, I don't like to inch out into the intersection.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm staying behind the line. And woman behind me is pissed even more so. Like, I can tell. She's, like, cussing in the seat and all that. So pissed off. Looked like she was ready to get a shotgun and just shoot me. Light turns green again, and this bitch has the audacity to honk as if I could actually go.
Yeah.
So, I'm sitting there, I'm like, all right. Now I'm pissed. I was having a good day, too. And so cars keep going. I was like, I don't like trying to rush the yellow, but I'm about to make an exception.
Mm-hmm.
So the light turns yellow. I go real fast. So I'm both done with the light, and B, I get the satisfaction of getting to see that woman stuck at the light one more time as I drive off.
Oh, that's funny. And you got her back for being impatient with you.
I did. Like, that's what you get, you dick.
Yeah. There was one time when I was at an intersection going left turn, and I was actually with one of my friends. He was driving, and this lady in front of us, the light turns green, and she gets out of her car and starts like looking at her tire. And then like she's like, "Guys, I'm sorry," and there's like 8 cars behind her. And so we missed the light because this fucking lady like had to, I don't know what she was doing. She was like also looking for something under her seat. It was weird. Well, to all of our listeners out there, make sure that you stay safe while driving. Don't let other drivers intimidate you, but also be aware of what's going on the road. It's very easy to zone out when you're driving, especially on the freeway once you get